Tottenham 2, Manchester City 0 then is how it finished in North London. After the opening 35 minutes, Steve thought, oh, what are we going to talk about in this game? And then all of a sudden, chaos reigned. Before we get to all the kind of decisions that the officials made, I kind of think, how did Spurs win this?
Honestly, Mourinho should have a black mask and a black and white T-shirt on. I mean, you talk about daylight robbery. I mean, this game, up until the sending off, was embarrassing, I thought, for Tottenham, because they were completely and utterly they were made to look subpar, because that's what they were until obviously Zinchenko gets sent off.
And that really changed it. Yeah. Obviously a great finish as well from Bergwijn, dream debut.
Yeah, and it's a goal from nowhere. You know, they haven't cut anybody open. It's a ball that's a clever little chip from Mora, and then Bergwijn, he really had nothing to shoot at, but controls it with his chest, and then his second touch is in the back of the net. And you talk about a complete turnaround. And
you could see that in the City players as well.
Yeah.
The wind just came out their sails. Obviously, the Spurs then doubled their advantage.
Well, you go a man down, so clearly there's a switch in the mentality.
Yeah.
You have to sit a little. You have to be more cautious, because up until then it was Tottenham that were cautious. They were the ones that were sitting back. But you know, such a quick turnaround, not just the red card followed by the goal. It was just an uphill battle from then on for City.
Second game in a row, though, we've seen City fail to score despite having a million chances.
Worrying. I thought City would win this game because I didn't think they could go 2 games in a row creating so many opportunities and not taking any. And they didn't again. The penalty kick, you know, you kind of wonder whether... I thought Aguero would take it, but obviously they must have remembered that last year he missed against Lloris. Maybe that's why Gundogan took it. In the end, it was a great save. But you have to think, if that goes in, this game's over for me. Because Tottenham were absolutely not involved for an hour.
Let's talk through some of those incidents. Obviously, early on, the challenge from Sterling on Ali for you.
Oh, red card.
All
day long. And the biggest reason being that it's Dele Alli's standing foot. His other foot's off the ground. I mean, you talk about... There ain't too many more dangerous challenges that you can put on somebody, or certainly receive as a player, than having your standing leg just ran over. So for me, I don't understand how a referee can look at that and decide it's not a red card.
If Mike Dean was sent to the monitor, do you think he would then change his mind?
I'd like to think so. I don't think there's actually a discussion to be held here.
What about those that say, because in real time it didn't look that bad, it's only in slow motion, and slow motion kind of emphasises...
But it makes it worse that you actually get a chance to look at it, or a referee does. I would prefer Dean to, but the fact that another referee does get a chance to look at that and should be able to see how dangerous it is, and not come to the conclusion of a red is, well, hey, I don't understand that bit.
Why is that different to the Andy Robertson one? Remember that we were talking about a few weeks ago, where obviously he didn't get a booking. Many thought that was a red card.
Well, the biggest difference is it's the standing leg. You know, anybody who receives that, it's a toss of a coin how bad it's going to be. You know, in the end, Dele Alli had to go off. That didn't help Spurs whatsoever. But listen, it should have been a red card, and I still don't understand why it wasn't.
And of course, chaos just before the break. Initially, the penalty not given. Mike Dean obviously making it clear, looked like he got the ball. Almost 2 minutes passed before the penalty was then awarded. Gundogan, as you mentioned, had the penalty save. Raheem Sterling then looked like he should have been given a penalty. That wasn't given by VAR.
Well, I didn't think it was a penalty. I think
the Aguero one. Oh, the Sterling.
The Sterling one.
Sterling one.
Oh no, it's an absolute stonewall penalty.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's at VAR so long. To be fair, because it took one look.
But then they can't tell the referee to stop the game.
Of course they can.
Well, that's what they should have done. The fact is, they got it right though. It's a stupid tackle from Aurier. Aguero's going away from goal. He doesn't need to make a challenge. Just stay on your feet. But luckily for him, he misses the penalty.
And what about the Sterling?
It's bordering on a dive, because he's no question looking for contact from Lloris. The only intention he has is making sure that Lloris hits him. And I'm not quite sure there is much of a contact. So I don't think at all it's a penalty. Now, the most important thing that comes out of this whole thing other than them not scoring, is you've got a left back in Zinchenko who runs, 30, 40 yards to get involved in something that's got nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
And gets himself a yellow card. And of course, when you do that as a defender, you're putting yourself in peril. You can't afford to make a mistake. And guess what? Not only did he make a mistake, but it's another mental mistake. You know, a professional footballer at that level, playing for a team like Manchester City, should have the mentality that everybody can for a split second, have a rush of blood.
Yes.
But then you have to be able to control it.
Yeah.
He runs 30 yards.
And within that time,
that time, you've got plenty of time to calm down and realise what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happens, you know, when he's defending.
He knows he's on a yellow.
Well, he should. It's a mental mistake. And the fact that he doesn't realise that he can't get involved in anything, and the fact that he goes and dives in anyway and bumps into his opponent tells you that he's not thinking clearly. And at this level, at that level, playing for a team like City, you have to be able to have a clear head.
Spurs top 4?
Why? They
They
can't keep robbing everybody every time they step on the field, because that's all they're doing. The points they're picking up are robbery. I can't remember the last time they had a decent performance. Yeah. They've had little spells in games where they've played well, but this today was embarrassing. Tottenham were at home in front of their own fans, and they were just getting, you name it, they got outdone. And of course, as I said, Zinchenko, ridiculous decision-making, turns the game in Spurs' favour. I mean, daylight robbery.
Stevie, thank you very much. Just confirm then, Spurs with a 2-0 win against Manchester City.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.